Sounds great. So I have this crazy belief that you were born to create. That creation is, it runs in your DNA. And the doTERRA just happens to be the very best playground on earth to create health, to create abundance, and to create growth and development. So that's a pretty bold statement if you think about that, to say that doTERRA is that space. That's the space that it's created for us. And so if I want to, first of all, honor my dad. He's been such a gift to me, and one who's always been the creator of the spaces that I've been able to enjoy. So growing up, his hobby was remodeling old homes. So he was always flipping homes. We probably moved like 10 times. And he just loved making these homes beautiful. He loved ripping out old carpet and sanding the floor and, you know, reclaiming the beauty and then painting. He loved to paint. People said that he would paint the walls so many times that all the rooms shrunk. So he loved to create these spaces, but he also created another kind of space for me. And that was to understand my gifts and my passions. So from an early age, I loved art. I loved to draw. I loved to paint. And so they helped me take some art classes. Through high school, he even signed me up for different magazines like graphic design and illustration and photography magazines, so that I could start to see some different ways that I could use these talents for the visual arts. So it was in that process that I realized that graphic design was my real passion. So my dad, I love the way that he created all these spaces, but one of the spaces he never figured out how to create was residual income. He always worked for the man his whole career. And so there wasn't much time for the family. We took a few trips, but he was a hard worker. And when he wasn't, teaching school, he was improving the home or working 2 and 3 side jobs. So I guess as a kid, the one thing that I always wanted was more time with Dad. I wish that, we could have done more hobbies together and learned how to create that kind of intimate, parent, dad-son relationship that I always craved. So fast forward to college, I chose to study graphic design, and that's where I met my beautiful bride, Natalie. And
hi,
Delmar
love you all.
just said the sweetest things about you.
Oh, Delmar.
Oh, you know I love you so much.
She said, I don't care if I ever make money. If I just get to hang out with Natalie and be like her, it's all worth it.
I think we got our dream come true, right, Delmar?
Totally. Natalie, hanging up with you.
I got my dream come true. I want to be like you when I grow up. Love you guys. Keep going on your story. Love, that's amazing.
So Natalie and I met while we were in college, and we had some friends who invited us over to their house to play this board game called Cash Flow. It's a board game by Richard Kiyosaki. He wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And in this game, Cash Flow, the point of the game is to figure out how to create residual income. And this completely blew my mind. I didn't know that people really did that. And so Natalie would come home and we'd talk about it. And And we were these serial entrepreneurs. You know, we'd have these entrepreneurial spasms and just go out and start a business, hoping that that would be the golden ticket.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, none of those worked. But it created a new space in my mind for what was possible, and it created a desire in my heart to be able to have that for me and my kids, and for us to have time freedom, and to be able to have the space to be able to do and give. And so I started working in graphic design. I remember working for a design client, Choice Humanitarian, actually. Many of you know who Choice is. And they do these humanitarian trips to all these cool places. And I was going through their photos and, you know, putting together a website. I had this desire, if only one day I could go on one of these expeditions. Like that's all I could want. If only I could afford to maybe trade my web design services for a trip, then I'd be set. Like that's where my heart was. I just wanted to go and serve. But that wasn't possible. We did okay, but we were, you know, working from job to job and check to check.
Every dollar.
So I guess maybe some of you might be, you know, somewhere in your journey, you might have asked yourselves the same question, like, is there a better way? Is there a better way to provide for my family? Is there a better way to connect with my family and be really present in their lives, their whole lives, not just when the kids leave and I'm retired, but is there a way, is there a better way? And, you know, some people call it early retirements or mini retirements, where people take off 2 months for every few years. So that was where my heart was. And so I was working in the industry. At one point, my company laid off the whole web design team. And so I decided to start my own design firm. And I called my firm Creation House because that's what it was about. It was about creating visual spaces. And so I was starting to wake up to this idea of being a creator. But at the end of the day, what I'd created was just a job. It wasn't a real business because you had to be a designer and you had to put in the hours. So that didn't really work. I did charge a few clients for web hosting. And I think at the peak of my web design career, I had enough clients to bring in about $342 a month residual income. So I crushed it. But it was several years later that Natalie came across doTERRA, and I'll let her tell that story. And at first, she, you know, brought home these little brown bottles and said, "Andy, I just found the best oils on the planet. And we have to buy the biggest kit. And I actually have to go give this lady my form tonight because she's giving a free Terra Shield if I get this back tonight." And so, of course, I was the skeptical husband who thought that these were, you know, voodoo oils that, of course, they don't really do anything. They're just these nice smelling aromas, and, you know, you could probably get the same benefit from Febreze, you know, plugging in your little deal. So I was that guy, right? I was the skeptical husband, but she was like, "No, really, I think these are something special." So she brought home the kit, and she started swiping the oils under the kids' noses. She swiped them on my forehead, and we started just living the life, right? The oil life. And she was doing yoga at the time. And after every yoga session, she would do a shavasana where you kind of lie and still your mind. And when she was trying to be still, she would get these impressions about people that she should share with. And so pretty soon what started out as this, like, it's just for our family. She couldn't keep it to herself. And she had to start sharing with these people that she was feeling impressed to share with. So she was starting to make little samples and host little classes in our front yard, and sharing with homeschool groups like the Garretts, the Mark and Jen Garrett were in the same homeschool group as us. They were crazy enough to believe in us in those first few months. And then they had some booths, and that's how they met Lassen and Brian. And then we connected with the Alstroms. So it just kind of grew one person at a time. And as Natalie was, as we started seeing the health benefits in our family, as we started living that lifestyle, we couldn't not share it with others. And it was just a natural thing to do. Like you live something, it blesses you, and you have to turn around and share it. So, so when Natalie met people who needed a helichrysum sample, she made a helichrysum sample. And I was like, do you know how many dollars are in that little sample vial? And if they need a deep blue, she made them a deep blue sample. And I'm like, $1, $2, $3. And I'm just counting the dollars go out the door, you know, and I'm like, honey, this is a really expensive hobby. I know that you think you're doing a business, but it's not a business because it costs this much and you're bringing in this much. So I was that guy, I was that husband that was skeptical, and you know, there was a struggle there as she is going off and teaching classes. And at the time we were homeschooling, so I get to pick up the slack with homeschool, and now I'm doing the dishes and I'm doing the cooking and the laundry. And after a while, you know, she's off to teach her third class for the week, and I shout at her as she's walking out, "You're addicted to doTERRA and you couldn't quit if you tried." And that's not a moment that I'm proud of, but you know, it was not this romantic, beautiful, you know, picture perfect story. We've had lots of struggles trying to figure out, you know, what's your part, what's my part. But over time, you know, people started buying, and one of the miracles that happened was, you know, the first month there's nobody in our back office but us. Natalie busts her tail and signs a bunch of people up. And then we collapse at the end of the month and we think, oh, shoot, we got to do this all over again next month. And then as the month goes on, orders just start showing up. And I hear about this thing called loyalty rewards. And I'm like, oh my gosh, we don't have to recreate the whole thing all over this month. Because like people, they're actually emptying their bottles and they're using the products, hon. And that was a magical turning point for me when I started to believe in this business model. Because I had made fun of network marketing my whole life. Like, we live in Utah County, which is the cesspool of all network marketing. Like, I can't even count how many headquarters of MLMs there are here. So we've been approached by every one of them. And so I was pretty skeptical about that, about this being a viable business model. But as we started living and as we started sharing, what happened was it started to build a business, and it started to build a check that actually got my attention. Pretty soon, Natalie's paycheck caught up with mine. And then a year later, it tripled mine. And I'm starting to say, hang on, what's this thing you're doing over here, this doTERRA thing? And she graciously, she invited me to join her, and she created a space for me to step in and do what I love, which is teaching and coaching and mentoring. And at first, I was just the back office guy. I was just the one that checked the numbers and checked the power of three and rank. But then I graduated to doing some business trainings and then coaching and doing one-on-ones. But what I found is that in this business, everything is about belief. The whole activity, all the actions that anybody takes are all founded on what they believe. So when Natalie brought home that application form that night, she hoped. I wouldn't even say that she believed yet, but she wanted to believe that these oils would change our lives. And that was the first seed of belief. Then we got home and we started playing with the oils. And I still remember one night when Natalie was off teaching a class, and our 4-year-old Ben, you know, when you're 4 years old, you don't get a cup and fill the cup up at the sink. You jump up on the sink and you drink out of the faucet, right? So he jumps up and he's leaning with all of his weight on the faucet as he's drinking, and the faucet breaks off. He falls forward and hits his head on the stub that's left from the broken spout. And Natalie's gone, and I'm like, oh, snap. So I remember, though, her saying helichrysum. Like if you've got some swelling or bleeding situation, helichrysum is the one you reach for. So I ran the oils, got the helichrysum, and I could not believe it. There was no swelling, there was no bleeding, and what would have been a goose egg, out to here, there was nothing. And so my belief started to grow. I started out with a desire to not believe, and that quickly became, I can't argue with this. Like, these oils actually work. And then after we gained a belief in the product, we started sharing just out of this, natural reaction to wanting to serve others. And eventually we started to believe in the opportunity and in the company. As we met with Dave Sterling and Greg Cook and Emily Wright, and we got to know these people for who they are, we realized, you know what? There is power in partnership. And we've been rugged individualists up till now. We've gone off and started 20 businesses, but I trust these guys, and I believe in who they are. I believe in their mission, and I want to hook my train to theirs. So as quickly as we could, we divested of all those other companies that we had started, and we said, this is where we're putting our focus. We're putting all our eggs in this basket, and we are going there. So I still remember the day that we had been Diamond for a few months, and they told us about this thing called Founders Club in Australia. We had become founders in the US, and now they were doing Founders Club in foreign markets. So we said, hey, why not? So we sold our house, and we sold our car, and we moved our family of 5 kids to Australia. And we decided we're going to build a team there. And that's how much my belief shifted in those 18 months, from the time we started till the time we sold everything and moved country to go share these oils with total strangers. So belief, like, it's a fragile thing, but it's a powerful thing. It's the only metric in your doTERRA business that really matters, because it's what fuels everything. It's what fuels product consumption. It's what fuels sharing. It's what fuels building. It's the reason for why everyone does what they do. So some of you have seen the belief levels that I created. It was part of the Share Success system, and now it's in the Empowered Success. That's the architecture, or maybe the framework behind the whole Empowered Success system, is giving you the tools and the information needed to build the belief that's needed at each crossroads. So we've tried lots of different things. We've failed more than I think anyone in the business. We used to give people way too much information, way too early. The system is now like, it's so refined, it's amazing. And the idea is that the belief is contagious, and sometimes we just need a little hand-holding to guide the conversation and build belief in others. So that's the framework behind the empowered success system. Whether you're teaching a class or guiding a lifestyle overview or launching a new builder, it's all about nurturing that belief in them. And it all starts with product. Luckily, we've got an amazing product that actually works. We've got a neighbor who's a top earner at Nu Skin, and he makes fun of Nu Skin's products so bad that he hasn't grown his team in, gosh, probably 5 years, because he doesn't believe anymore. So Natalie and I, we were blessed that doTERRA was our very first network marketing company. And so we've been spoiled. We didn't know how good we had it until we've gotten to know lots of people from other companies. That's also what drives our incredible retention rate. We've got the highest that I know of in the industry. So like my neighbor, he's trying to fill a bathtub without putting the stopper in. His company has an average 9% retention rate. Can you imagine what that's like to try to build residual income when the water's just gushing out the drain? So it's an amazing company that we're part of. The thing that my invitation to you is to step into creation. Be the creator that you were born to be. doTERRA truly is the very best playground on the planet for creating all those things, for creating health and wellness in your family, for creating financial abundance and security and safety, but also for developing you. What blows my mind is the internal work that happens as people start to live and as they start to share. It starts to grow them as a person, and they start developing as a leader. And it's not like they set out to become a leader, but the steps that they take have that as the byproduct. So I just want to invite each of you to step into that space of creation, to be more conscious of what you're creating, and to be intentional about what you're creating. You can create. I love what Lassen says all the time, that you can basically achieve as big as you can dream. So dream big and create big, create massive value, and be the creator and the producer that you were born to be. So let me go see if Natalie is available. I guess I want to be sensitive of your time, because I think you said like 20 minutes and I've already blown through that. Do we want to do some Q&A first?
Yeah.
First of all, let's just say thank you, Andy. I mean,
Sure.
Incredible is not even come close to what you just shared with us. So thank you so much for all those great and amazing words. Very inspiring to me, and I'm pretty sure everyone out there was very touched, moved, and inspired too.
Thank you.
Like you said, what you said really, I think, brought us back to the core of just the core, right? Like you said, belief is the core to the products, core to the conversation. It's core to creating the life that we want to live. So thank you. I'm sure.
Absolutely. Thanks for giving us a chance. We always love to connect, and I'm having flashbacks to our visit to your house in Florida and the empanadas that you made for us, Del Mar. And the, what else? It was the
Taquitos.
Taquitos. Oh my gosh. Life.
Yes, I always tell everybody that you brought your 6 kids and the Garris brought the 6, and then I turn around and it looks like they were not kidding in my house. And your kids line up, ate everything, plus asked nicely for more. And then there's my kids saying, I don't want the red sauce. I don't want that. And then you leave, and my 3 kids, I turn around, I was like, it sounds like I have 20 kids here, right? Yes, thank you for bringing me so peaceful children that I can enjoy. And thank you for your greatness. And I know that I brought you to my home, Natalie, and I acknowledge you for creating to this simple human being who just stand for people greatness like you guys and servings. And I actually, could share my home with you because you, Lassen and Jen and the Garris made possible. We're doing fairs, we're doing these. You came to teach my class, and it was an expression of your creation. Talking about, the creation that Andy was just saying to us, and sharing my home at that moment with you both who are admired, and I definitely touch my heart to tell you, to say, look how my life has transformed because you believe one day, or you have a vision and you didn't give up on me, when I just make a face like, really? So thank you.
There was no way to give up.
Thank you. So thank you.
Look at all the beautiful people that you have brought into this beautiful world too. It's an incredible creation, and it just keeps multiplying and getting better and brighter every day.
That's so true. That's so true. And yeah.
We thank you. We love to, open up, like you said, for some questions, some comments, anyone that wants to share something, ask Andy, ask Natalie, or just share what you're feeling, what's going through your mind right now. Just feel free to unmute your microphone, and we'll just take it here for a few minutes if you guys have some time. Andy, Natalie?
Yeah, totally.
Okay. All right. So who's first? Everyone's so quiet tonight.
I think they're taking it all in.
Oh.
That was like so much emotion. I was feeling all that love.
We have some questions on the chat. Let's see here.
It was so much emotion, we forgot. You forgot your
question. So Caffeine asks, what was your most effective way to find people? So I mentioned earlier that probably our strength was failing fast. We tried running an ad in a national magazine. That was not the most effective way to find people. That was an effective way to waste a lot of money. We also tried doing booths in Japan where we didn't speak the language. And we spent thousands of dollars to do that, and that was not the most effective. Honestly, what I found is the 100 names list is always the best place to start. And just going through the list and just quietly reflecting on who needs this business opportunity right now. So, to answer your question, if you're looking for builders and looking for leaders, just really dropping into your heart and thinking about who needs this business right now, who needs the financial income, the benefits, the safety of this that this business has to offer. When it comes to customers, dropping in the same question, who needs these natural solutions? And really, when we're at our best selves, we're just detectives looking for people's unmet needs. So as you learn to tune in to their needs, you'll come to discover that the way people talk, the way people tell their stories, the way people even introduce themselves, even the way they dress, they're shouting a message, and it's in that message is what their unmet needs are. So I know that probably sounds kind of like crazy and daunting right now, but I just invite you to start listening, to start putting on the ears. Just assume that everyone you ever talk to for the rest of your life has unmet needs. So now tune into that. And as you're talking and as you're listening and connecting with people, ask yourself, what's the unmet need? Some people it's health. Some people it's financial. Some people it's recognition. Some people it's meaning and purpose. For some people it's service. They're looking for a way to change the world. Everyone is driven by different things. But I think the biggest mistake we make is to assume we know what people need. So be bold and ask, right? If you spent the rest of your life just asking people, how can I serve you? What do you need right now? You will be blown away at how, first of all, people come to see you as a servant leader. And second of all, how open that people will be with what they really need. So just, that's probably my one tip there is there's not one way to find people. It's really about connecting with their needs and then building the bridge between how doTERRA meets that need. So clearly the product meets so many physical needs and emotional needs. Sometimes building the bridge of how diffusing a certain oil could support their emotional needs. And then showing them how the comp plan can meet financial needs and recognition can meet their needs for, what's the top strength? Is it called recognition?
Oh.
Significance.
Yes.
So people with significance in the top 5, they're going to love when you take them through the leadership magazine and you show them what a great job doTERRA does with recognition. So it's just always thinking, like, tune into that station and you're going to do great.
Absolutely. I would just add that the more clear you are on what you want, who do you want to serve? Who do you want to work with? Because your unique gifts, your unique experiences prepare you in a unique way to serve. And so the more clear you are about who you're meant to serve and who you want to connect with and partner with to build this business, the more you'll attract that. So get clear, make that builder avatar, draw it out. I love what Tiffany Peterson says about spending time in the zip code of your dreams. So if you have people that you want to serve, people that you want to be with, people that you want to partner with, spend time thinking about that type of people and go and connect with those type of people where they will be. And you'll find those you're meant to lead, because everyone is meant to lead someone and partner with someone or serve someone, and you'll find those that are ready for you.
So Dolores says, at the store, I come across people who have health needs. What's the best way to approach them? I know the oils will help them, but I get frozen. What would you say to Dolores?
I think that's really normal, Dolores. And I think even I still sometimes do that, right? You're in line and you have that moment and you gotta I find that sometimes not thinking about it does better than thinking about it. So just hopping in and let the care that you feel for those people be louder than the fear in your heart. right? The fear of what if I don't say the right thing or da da da. Just think about that person and how different their life will be with the oils. And then you'll have the courage to say whatever it is that you need to say. But a lot of times it might go like this. Wow, that's so hard when your kids are sick, right? Empathy first, right? And then I like to connect with them. Like when my kids get sick, we like to use essential oils. They help them quickly. And even when it's a virus, it helps them. Have you used essential oils before? Would you be interested in trying some to help your kids? I do classes on Thursdays at 7 o'clock, or you know what? I know we're running out. Can I just get your number and I'll text you a quick video that you could watch and let you know about a couple resources that are here nearby. And then I might say, would that serve you? Great. Okay, what's your number? Right? And just dive in. So in any situation, it's a little bit different. But again, think about what Andy was talking about, just serving their needs. And I love it. I can't remember who it was saying that, you know, if you think that half the people you meet have serious problems, you're right. Or what was that it? Because there are challenges all around us. You know, we have them. We know they're real, right? And everyone can use doTERRA to make those challenges and stretches that we all have in our lives easier and better, right?
So Andy and Natalie, just one last question. Do you ever have the feel to quit, and why you do not quit when you just want to quit? And then I have one more question together with that, and I kind of flow, but yeah, that.
We've only quit
A million?
a few hundred times. Like, yeah, quitting is just part of, like, when you're doing something big and important and that has to do with your life mission, then there's going to be opposition. There's going to be, you know, a current that's trying to stop you. So
I love that. Even today, earlier, we were in a meeting. It was like one of those meetings. I'm like, could you shove, you know, pins up my fingernails or something? Like, this is harder than that, you know? There are moments that are so hard and I want to quit, right? But then I get to remember, right? And sometimes, you know, we talk about, oh my gosh, this feels so hard. I just need to say, this feels hard right now, or this moment is difficult. And then we remember why we're here and what we're doing. And just like you, we have been so blessed by these oils, by the people that we've come to know, and by the opportunity to share and serve, right? We get to serve people every day, and our family is provided for, and we get to help and bless a lot of other people because of that. And I love it, right? It's like, if I could do anything in the world, if money weren't an issue, I would still do the same thing. And that is a miracle. And that's why we keep doing it, because we love our freedom to serve. And there are going to be hard things, whether you do doTERRA or you do something else. But I'm telling you, you're not going to have anywhere near the love, the depth, the meaning in your life without serving big. And when you serve big, there is big frustration and big pain. So you better get used to it, because it's there, right? Hopefully just the frequency of what we're doing. We have big joy and big pain, and then we're right back up to big joy, right? So we're just going up faster, and hopefully we're staying up there longer. And I would definitely say that our life is way more joy than ever before, and way more meaning than ever before. And the other comes with it. The opposition comes with it. So every time you want to quit, just remember why you're really here.
Well, thank you, Natalie. And that was my question. You know, is it worthwhile? Now that you look back 7 years, 6 years, will you do this again? You know, like I know you're double, so double.
Would I do it again? Would I do it?
Almost.
Absolutely, I would do it again. I would go through it all again. I would go through it again 5 times, maybe. No, there's no question. I never think twice. And, you know, every experience we've had has been the perfect experience for our growth. And like, where would we be today? We would not be half the people that we are. And that's what I love. Like, our kids get us too. They don't just get a nice check, and they don't just get a trip to Hawaii. They get us as a mom and dad, and we get each other. Like, that is awesome, right? That's the real gift in it all, is we become more of who we want to be. And we get to help other people do the same thing, right? Am I helping other mamas and dads become better moms and dads, better wives and husbands, better people? Yeah. And that's what I want to be about. So totally do it all over again.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I have a question. Are you going to share it, Paul?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead. I put it in the chat, but I just don't want to miss it because I think it's something that we all need and we all are trying to find the balance. So I wrote the question about time management, and I wanted to know the difference when Andy was working and managing your time then with 5 children. And I know you guys go to church and trying to build the business. And then now the difference with having Andy home and how you're managing your time now. I think it would be helpful for a lot of us who are moms and juggling everything as well.
I love that. That's a great question. That's a real one right there. And so good to hear your voice, sister.
Thank you.
Yeah, we got a chance to connect here in Utah. So my thinking there was back in the day when I was just doing this and juggling there, I had to decide what was going to give, because I couldn't do everything that I had done before and still do doTERRA. I had to give some things up. And so we literally, you know, I was feeling the doTERRA bug. Andy wasn't quite feeling it yet. I knew I had to do this. It was like, I felt like something behind me just pushing me forward. It was like, Natalie, you're going to do this no matter what, right? And so I knew I had to strip some things out of my life. So I ended this play group and I let go of this, you know, looked and chose from all the things that were happening, what are the essentials, and I let the balance go. And then I found some things to even support during that time. Like I said, Andy, you know, the house is going to be messy for a season. I'm going to have to let some things go. Are you willing to help on laundry and meals if I just buy a few more Costco frozen dinners? Are you okay with that? You know? And so we had to make some adjustments there even to keep the stress okay and to be okay together, like just have that understanding. And then I got creative with, you know, if I needed to get some extra oils, I could trade that for some babysitting help. So I had, you know, some time that was just set apart for doTERRA with no distractions, so I could do the really, you know, heavy thinking things. And so I set that up and I traded oils for babysitting there. And then we also did some other creative things like, you know, Jen Garrett was building at the same time I was. And so maybe I would take all the kids and be present and be playing with them one day while Jen was taking care of her stuff. And then we would do the opposite, right? And all of our kids love to play together, and that totally worked. So we got creative in some of those ways. We still served in our church. We still showed up big there. I knew that was important too. And we just let some of our standards down for a season, because we knew it was the time to focus on doTERRA. So that time blocking, I've learned more about time blocking since then. So I would have done a lot more time blocking. But at the time, even for a while, I was homeschooling and doing doTERRA. So I had to learn, okay, the rule is at noon, then I'm going to check it on my phone at 9, and I got to put it right back down. I got to immediately check back into school, and I got to do that till noon, and then I'll check back in and I'll do calls and da-da-da. But I had to schedule it into certain hours so that I was still keeping those first things first. What else would you add? That's my basics.
Yep.
Love it. Remember, if you take care of those people closest to you, you know, think about your relationships, your self-care, your relationship with God, your relationship with your spouse, then your relationship with your children, then your relationships beyond that, right? So if you keep those things in order, then everything's going to work out. And there are seasons that you got to let go of things in those outer circles. We didn't hang out with people. We didn't do movie nights a lot, right? You know, we never watched TV. Now we watch movies every once in a while or whatever, but it's like that just wasn't a part of our world. And so we had to decide what we were going to sacrifice to get what we really wanted. And we got creative. You can do it. If I can do it, you can do it.
What's the saying? You can do anything, but you can't do everything.
That's right. So true.
Thank you, Natalie and Andy. Jessica, did that
Yes.
answer the question, or you have another question?
No, that was very good. And just now that Andy is home, has it changed?
Absolutely. But a lot of the same principles still apply, right? So once you learn those principles, then you can bring it in and life gets more peaceful. But like we even choose now, you know, it's like we have one, our 8-year-old is homeschooling this year, and we have a 3-year-old at home. And so we like to take a little bit of time in the morning before everything starts and be with them and get our other kids off to school. So we don't do appointments before 9. And then we just have to kind of set some boundaries, because doTERRA will take over your life, right? You have to set some boundaries, and then you bring it big and you serve big in that time that you have, and then you let go in the other time and you show up so you can show up strong. So the other things that we do is like, yeah, we try and be done with things by 3:30 when our other kids come home from school, so we can be focused on them. So it's like an exception, you know, we're teaching a class or whatever, that's a special occasion, but we're not doing mentoring or other calls or things like that during that time unless it's an emergency. What else would you say we do? I think the same time blocking things, we still have to keep getting rid of stuff in our lives. So we call that the 6-month purge, and every 6 months we look at the things that we've committed to and we have to get rid of them again, right? So keep putting your pipes first, make sure you're inviting, presenting, and enrolling keep happening, right? It's super easy to drop into your supporting, spend all your time there, or stay really comfy in preparing. There was a season I felt like we're growing so fast. We have to take care of inviting, presenting, enrolling, and supporting so much. I don't have very much time for for prepare. And I think I could have been so much more powerful, right? I could have been a really sharp saw if I would have taken the time to always take your time and prepare and your self-care. And now we're really good about self-care. Like we just have it built into our life. The massage therapist comes every Tuesday morning. I know she's coming. All I have to do is walk downstairs to the massage table. It's a good time. And she gives us a massage, and then our kids a massage, and then she comes back after school and she does the kids in the afternoon. And we have time to do our personal development in the morning before everybody's off. And I love it.
Do you have now somebody who cook for you and clean your home? Because I do somebody who clean my house, and that's like, whoa, beautiful.
Best, right? So that may be another self-care thing, right? We have a big house. We have 7 kids. We pay someone, they come clean our house once a week, and it's amazing. And I have help to do my laundry and things like that so that I can put energy into doTERRA instead of folding my clothes. Yeah?
Yeah, love it.
And we have a cook that comes twice a week, and she makes all the major meals. And so, you know, we just plan some of those things that like don't bring us a lot of joy. We're going to pass those off to other people, right? We're going to use our strengths and gifts and bring it and create a lot of value, and let other people come and bring the value that they know how to create. My family's so happy I'm not cooking. They're like cheering.
Wonderful. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much.
We love you guys. What a beautiful team. What a beautiful heritage and legacy you are all creating day by day by day, step by step. You're making those choices that are really changing lives. So thank you.
And thank you guys again for being here with us. I just, at the very basic level, we wanted our team to get to know you, right? Just as friends.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that's been accomplished tonight. We hear your name, we see your name, but we want everyone to know that you're also our friend, and that you are connecting with us, on a personal level too. So thank you so much for just being here with us.
We love you. You guys are being led by the most incredible leaders. Paul, oh my goodness. You two have heart. You're so sincere and salt of the earth, just about helping people and doing the right things. And they do it again and again and again. And we love your story. We love who you are. We love what you stand for. It totally lines up with doTERRA.
Yeah, thank you. And that's how we felt about our team. We feel that this is powerful creators, and they go above and beyond, and they get rid of their fears, and we see them with new ranks. We see them challenge them, whatever challenge them. And it's just, I just want to tell you that is to begin with your vision and your creation, that we're all being impacted. And we're very grateful for that. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you for all the leaders that connect today, for your effort and your time also to connect. We love you and appreciate each of you. And thank you, Natalie.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you guys.
We love you all, wherever you are. Loads of love.
Can I ask just one quick question? It won't take long.
Sure, Lorena.
Lorena is in the house.
I have a question. I always have to so I don't know how I got on it, but I try to show up every week to your success coaching with Tiffany Peterson every week. And I always have to send the message I get on my phone to my team to see if they can come on it. And I was wondering, is there like a way I can get them to sign up so it can go to their phone?
Yeah. So if you go to sharesuccess.com,
Okay.
Up in the top right, there's quick links. And then you mouse over that and go to Success Coaching Call. And on that page, there's a link to opt in to get those text updates.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Yeah, great question. Great to have you on.
Mm-hmm. You can get it straight to them all the time. You're automatic. Look at this.
And just a 10-second, can you just explain to everyone what is the success coaching thing, just for all the team members?
Yeah, it's basically just an open call where we take questions, mostly around, how, it's all kinds of things, but it's a lot of times it's those emotional blocks that get in the way, the limiting beliefs when you're feeling stuck, and you just need an outside voice to help you through that. So it's open to anyone in doTERRA, and Tiffany is a rock star sales coach and a life coach, and it's super fun to serve the team that way. It's open to any rank, anyone can join, any anytime.
You could have started the day before or been in doTERRA 10 years. Doesn't matter. So.
And we also do it through Facebook Live. So you can go to the Share Success wall and you can watch it through Facebook Live.
Yeah.
And then isn't Share Success under what you said?
Go to the quick links and then Success Coaching Call.
Yeah.
Okay,
and
got it.
automatically send you a text. And if you sign up for that, it will even send you the text of the recording later on. No, they don't do that anymore. Okay, never mind. They'll send you a reminder about the call so you can get on it.
But on that page, you can get access to recordings from that page, or you can opt into the podcast. All the recordings are available as podcasts.
Yes.
Thank
And
you.
then it's with this professional coach, Tiffany Peterson, right?
Yep.
Which I love. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We appreciate your time.
Well, thank you for the extra time you guys are here tonight. You guys really went above and beyond. Thank you for staying around and
Love being with you. So grateful for it. Go change the world.
you
See
too,
you.
guys. Take care. Bye-bye. Thank you,
Bye-bye.
guys.
Thank you, everybody. We see you soon.
Yeah.